If you're dealing with spotting before your period, cycles shorter than 26 days, or maybe even trouble staying pregnant, you might have what we call a short luteal phase. We're going to break down what that is, why it matters, and why you might have it. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the Fruitful Fertility Co. podcast, your holistic, faith-filled, no-fluff guide to getting pregnant naturally. I'm your host and TTC BFF, Tori Black, here to pull you out of your weariness and cheer you into God's calling to be a mother, all while giving you the simple, bite-sized steps to improve your fertility. Let's trade stress and overwhelm for hope, because girl, you look fertile to me. So today's episode is a little sciencey, it's a little anatomy-ish, but I promise I won't make it boring or make you like your eyes glaze over because it sounds like I'm reading a health textbook to you. And if you'll lock in for the next 15 minutes or so, I'll explain why it matters, why you have it, and exactly what you can do about it, okay? So first and foremost, what the heck is a luteal phase? So your cycle, so from the day you start your period till the day you start your next period, that is your whole cycle. So not just your period, but the entire process. We break that into 4 blocks: menstrual, your period, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. Now, follicular and ovulatory kind of overlap, but this is essentially after your period up to ovulation. And then luteal is that 2 weeks after ovulation that you're hoping and praying that you're leaning towards a positive pregnancy test and you're sign or symptom spotting everything, right? It's that 2 weeks that gets a little bit crazy sometimes. If you need help making it through this 2 weeks, through this luteal phase, 2 episodes ago, so episode 133, I believe, is how to not spiral in your 2-week wait. That's a great episode to go back and listen to if you need support during this time. But essentially your luteal phase is when implantation is taking part and like early pregnancy is starting. And so if you have a short luteal phase, meaning it's less than 10 days, normal is typically 11 to 14 days. So if it's anything less than 10 days, you might see that spotting before your period. You might see cycles less than 26 days long. You might have trouble staying pregnant because what is happening is that uterine lining is shedding and getting ready for a period too quickly. It's almost as if the egg, maybe the egg is coming down, it's getting fertilized, it's getting ready to implant, but your period is starting before it has time to really snuggle in there and get cozy and make it known that he's staying for a while. So that's why we need to, if we're having that short luteal phase, we need it to be longer so we can get pregnant and stay pregnant. So why does this happen? If you're someone who does fall, you're like, yes, Tori, I check all those boxes. So why is this happening? The number one answer is low progesterone. Now, what's causing the low progesterone might be different for certain people, but the overall answer is low progesterone. And in the show notes, I have a really great resource for you. It's the Low Progesterone Playbook. It's going to help you identify your pattern of what's keeping you stuck in this low progesterone situation and exactly how to fix it. So grab that. It's in the show notes, Low Progesterone Playbook. But what's happening here is we're dealing with some kind of stress that is causing a low progesterone. And progesterone is really important because it's what maintains that uterine lining. When I was in a training back in 2022, a fertility training, someone explained it to me of like a bowling ball sitting in a Walmart sack. And that Walmart sack is your progesterone working. And if the bowling ball gets too heavy and the bag is too thin, so you don't have enough progesterone, the ball breaks right through the bag, right? But the thicker the bag is, the more it can maintain and support. So progesterone is really important for that uterine lining. When progesterone drops too early, the lining sheds and we have a short luteal phase. Okay, so what can cause this to happen? What can cause us to have these symptoms and the low progesterone in the first place? Well, number one is weak or delayed ovulation. So I want you to imagine a circle inside a circle. The most inside circle is your egg, your follicle, and the outside is what is called the corpus luteum. So it's basically like the shell around the follicle. And after you ovulate, the follicle comes out of that shell, that outer circle. And that outer circle, called the corpus luteum, makes progesterone. And it kind of signals like, hey, make progesterone, the egg is coming. It's like someone standing at the top. Imagine that your fallopian tube is like a tunnel at a park. And your egg is coming down the tube and the corpus luteum is standing at the top yelling down the tube, hey, the egg is coming, make progesterone because you're going to want to catch that egg when you get down there. Does that metaphor make sense? Does that analogy make sense? So that corpus luteum is helping make progesterone to sustain that luteal phase. So if we have a weak ovulation or delayed ovulation, sometimes we have delayed ovulation due to sickness or like high stress, travel, things like that. But that can cause low progesterone because the corpus luteum is not quite ready. It's not making enough progesterone. We can also see this due to high stress. If you go back and listen to any of my low progesterone episodes, I'll talk to you about how progesterone is really based on, like, it's fighting with cortisol. So if our cortisol is high, our stress levels are high, our body is prioritizing making that cortisol and not making progesterone. So lowering stress is really important. And again, in my low progesterone playbook, I help you identify the pattern that's causing the stress and what to do about that stress. So it's very like, oh, this pattern sounds just like me. Here's exactly what to do. Makes it very simple. Number 3 is a mineral imbalance. So my OGs, those of you who've been listening a long time, you know that minerals are the spark plugs of our bodies. They're really the gas, the energy behind our systems being able to do what they're supposed to do. So if we don't have the right mineral balance, we don't have the right hormone balance. And that's why I love HTMA. You'll hear me talk about HTMA testing and why I use that. It's because we can improve our hormones on a foundational level by improving our mineral levels. It's really easy to do. That's also another reason I love it. But with certain mineral imbalances make it hard for the body to make progesterone. Again, the body is prioritizing cortisol or something like that. It's running out of minerals to do so, and now it doesn't have the energy, the minerals, the power to make progesterone. And the last main trigger is estrogen dominance. So estrogen and progesterone are kind of buddies, but when one's high, it can push one low and vice versa. So they like to hang out together in a balance, right? That's why we say hormone balance. So if our estrogen is high, then most often we have low progesterone almost automatically. So high estrogen can be caused by different things. It can be caused by endocrine disrupting chemicals. It can be caused by endometriosis sometimes. And again, that low progesterone playbook will tell you what to address if it is estrogen dominant symptoms. But again, the thing is if estrogen's high, progesterone is low. So when we go in, we address what is causing the low progesterone. We strengthen our progesterone levels. We see that luteal phase get longer. So now the body has more time for that egg to implant, get cozy, get snuggled in, let the body know that it's there, and that way you stay pregnant. So let's wrap all of this up together really quickly. What is a short luteal phase? It is a luteal phase, so the weeks after ovulation to your next period is less than 10 days. Sometimes you might see this in spotting before your period. You might see short cycles, so less than 26 days, or you might just have trouble staying pregnant. Maybe you're getting chemical pregnancies. What is causing it to be what is causing the short luteal phase? Essentially, low progesterone. Like, that's the big umbrella we can kind of put up. But what is causing the low progesterone? Maybe it's weaker delayed ovulation. Maybe it's high stress. Maybe it's a mineral imbalance. Maybe it's estrogen dominance. And the important thing to know that a lot of these can be connected, and one can kind of cause the other. Weak delayed ovulation could be due to high stress. High stress can cause the mineral imbalance, so they can all be kind of connected. That's another reason why when you grab the low progesterone playbook, you can find the pattern that fits your symptoms and start there. But then you can also go to the next pattern. Once you're starting to see that change, you can compound on top of it, because a lot of times they're really connected. So again, grab that playbook. It's there for you. I love you, and I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode touched your heart or taught you something, I'd be honored if you share it with a friend who could use the information too. And if you want to be the real MVP, then would you also take 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars at the bottom and leave a written review telling me what you're loving? It lights me up to know this podcast is really helping you. Don't forget, you're super cute and super fertile, so meet me back here next week and let's keep chatting and learning together.